Привет, studenti, jak spravi, lásky vyprasamo do klasu. Today, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about American Christmas culture. This lesson is for people who are B1 or above, really more like B2 would be the speed here. Let me just get this ugly thing out of the way so you don't have to look at that. So let's look at it. Christmas culture. Let's take a peek. Okay, guys. So let me be your guide today through the wonderful Christmas culture of America. So Christmas culture, and we'll also talk a little bit about commercialism because, of course, that's a big part of the holidays is where we shop and what we buy, right? But let's talk about everything. So the first thing that comes to mind for me, the first thing that comes to my mind about the holidays is the decorations, okay? So, lights, Christmas trees, and lots of other stuff. So here on the right, this is Rockefeller Center in New York. That is a giant Christmas tree, right? And a giant star at the top of the Christmas tree. On the left, this is just sort of a general park. It's not a specific park, but we can see lots of lights. There's a fountain here. We have some bushes, right? Some bushes. Then there's like a main street, like some shops, right? And there's probably like a place to sit. There's probably a bench nearby, right? And then, of course, probably a nice sidewalk for pedestrians where they can look at the lights. This is my favorite decoration. This is basically a park pavilion, which is somewhere in a park that has a roof, but it's shaped like a giant Christmas ornament, which, man, I think that is so cool. I actually stood in that. So that is a decoration that I've seen up close. I thought, wow, that is really cool. So I just wanted to test you guys before you go and celebrate this Christmas. Let's make sure we know all these decorations. So number 13, I'm going to give you a couple seconds to let you guess what that is. I did just mention it. Okay. Wow, Zoom is so good. Oh my goodness. How are people supposed to read that? An ornament. There we go. I just don't understand these. Oh, these engineers, they're so smart. It's like, really? You can't type a word? Okay. Okay. So number 14, that stuff that was on the Christmas tree that was in the park. That's a real tangle of them right there, right? That's like a bowl of spaghetti. What are those? That should have been really quick, right? That's lights. Now I'll give you a second because I'm sure you have to Google a Christmas flower or something like that, right? Red Christmas flower, because you probably haven't heard of this or you don't know how to say it. So it's not mistletoe. It's not holly. It's this red flower that we really like to break out on Christmas, right? And put up where everyone can see it. So what do you think it is? Poinsettia. It's a poinsettia. I know these are also popular in Poland, I think, but I'm not sure about Ukraine. And then this is my favorite holiday decoration. I just love driving in the winter and seeing people who put these out on their front door. Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, I get into a decent holiday spirit, and I really like this. I think this decoration, it's very tasteful. It when you knock on someone's door and they have this there, you feel like a warmth, right? There's like I think it just has so much character, this decoration. And we typically leave it on our front doors. So yeah, you might have said wreath, and you'd be right. So that is a wreath. But I bet you didn't know the word wreath, when we spell it, actually starts with a W, which is like, what? Come on, English. So it's a totally silent W, and that is a wreath. Now let's talk about the collocations, which means, how we combine words, the words we like to say together. So on the right is our nouns. On the left, looks like we got verbs, right? So what do we decorate, right? And then what do we fill? Now, I think, could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think we're going to write a Christmas card, right? Yeah, I'm correct. So we write a Christmas card. So we write a Christmas card. And Santa, well, Santa rides a sleigh. I ride a sled in the winter, right? I go sledding. But Santa has this big red sleigh, right? And yes, I have a lesson where I explain all of these words to you, but we're not going to do that this lesson. If you don't know these words, because this is a YouTube video, I think you should just pause it and do a Google Images search. I do have a lesson where I go over like 50 different Christmas decorations vocab, but that's not what we're going to do today. And then, guys, I'm pretty sure everybody knows we light a candle, right? We light a candle. So we literally set it on fire. We light a candle. So that means that we decorate a Christmas tree and we fill a stocking. And a stocking is this big red sock that we fill with goodies and presents, okay? So there you go. Those are our Christmas decorations. Not all of them, but I think to me, these are the most important. All right, so I have this little funny video here about commercialism and Christmas, and I'm not going to play it, but I will explain to you basically what the video is about. It's about this husband that goes out and buys his wife a Lexus, so like a nice luxury car. And instead of her being happy, she's really upset because she's saying, "How can you afford this car? You know, I can't believe you bought this. You know, we're broke." Remember, broke means, we don't have any money. So how could you possibly do this? What a terrible financial decision. And the husband kind of goes like, "Oh yeah, I guess you're right." So well, he doesn't, but it's kind of, he doesn't say that, but you can tell that's what he's thinking, right? So the whole joke is like the pressure we're under to buy the perfect gift and do a really good job, shopping, especially for, if we want to impress someone, right? And this video, if you want to watch it, it's called December to Remember Car Commercial, SNL. Okay. It is so funny and it's so extreme. It's so silly. It does a really good job kind of making fun of this, right? People who go too far and spend too much on their presents. But I'll let you discover that on your own. We're going to keep it moving. Okay. So in the utility room, we can think of that. So just before we do this activity, let's look at the second category here. It says in the utility room. So we can think of that as like in the cleaning room or in the washroom, or I call it in the laundry room, right? In the laundry room. So I'm going to do, I think, the obvious ones, and I'll let you try to figure out the rest on your own. So first, in the kitchen, that's where we're going to have our blender and our dishwasher. I mean, your blender makes smoothies, and you put fruits and stuff in there. And then your dishwasher is going to wash your plates, cups, silverware, right? So obviously that goes in the kitchen. Now, not everybody has a dishwasher, but they're pretty handy, and it's a lot faster than using a sink. Now, in the utility room, so where we would keep, cleaning stuff, right? For me, it's my laundry room. So I think obviously we would have a vacuum cleaner there, right? A vacuum cleaner. And we would have things like a vacuum cleaner. Now, in the American living room, there's a big emphasis on having entertainment devices, right? So obviously a flat screen TV is going to be very common, in a American living room. Okay. So keep that in mind. A flat screen TV is very common in an American living room. So what other appliances would go in a living room then? If like flat screen TV is like the one we got to have, what other appliances would go there? So I'm going to let you guys kind of think about that, figure it out, right? And here, now I'm going to give you all of the answers. Okay, so if you haven't gotten all the answers yet, go ahead and pause the video. So in the kitchen, blender, dishwasher, freezer, toaster, oven. Okay, blender, dishwasher, freezer, toaster, oven. In the utility room, vacuum, iron, and that's it. Vacuum and an iron. That is it. An iron is for your clothes. You take this thing and it flattens your clothes and it gets the wrinkles out of your clothes, right? So we iron our clothes. In the utility room, in the living room, flat screen TV, sound system, let's see, DVD player. Okay, flat screen TV, sound system, DVD player. Okay. Another thing that's very common in the living room is the couch or the sofa. So I'm sitting on a couch or a sofa. You can also call it a sofa. Okay. So I'm going to let you guys, if you want, you can pause and just kind of look at these words. I'm going to be looking mainly over here, though. So let's say we want to describe the items that are on our Christmas lists, right? We want to say it's the best or the worst. We use something called a superlative, right? So when you see oh, this is the easiest class, right? This is the easiest class. You want to say it's the most easy. Well, that adjective easy has something called a superlative form. So because it's a nice short adjective, easy, when you want to say it's the most easy, it becomes easiest. So we drop the Y and we add EST, right? So easy becomes easiest. Okay. Now, with words that, I'm sorry, we will also add, let me just make this clear. We will also add the before easiest, right? So it's the easiest class. It's the easiest thing to buy for your stockings, to put in your stockings. Okay, like candy would be probably the easiest thing to buy. So that's a nice short adjective, easy. So we can drop the Y and just add EST, right? Another short adjective, let's say poor, that would become poorest. I mean, there's no Y to get rid of, so we just add EST. Now, let's say it's a longer adjective. We're going to use words like most or least, right? For example, let's look at number 1 over here. It's some popular brand in my country. I want to make that a superlative. Popular is too long to say popularist, right? So I'm going to say it's the most popular. Wow. You have to add 2 full words to make that work. Yeah, and it's a little bit weird. So number 1 would be, it's the most popular brand in my country. Another thing we need to go over. So number 2 and 3. So bad, if you hear someone say baddest, it's slang, right? Actually, bad in the comparative or superlative form will be worse and then worst. So number 2, it will be they're the worst value for money. With good, the superlative form is going to be best. So number 3 would read, I think it's the best brand of sunglasses. Okay, I think it's the best brand of sunglasses. Okay, now you can pause here and keep going, but I'm gonna keep this video nice and short, so you can pause whenever you need to. Let's keep going. So if you want to put in, so I want you to put 2 different things in the comments. The first thing is what's on your Christmas list this year. So for me, I got warm clothes, not clothes, clothes, some new books. So one book that I've got that I'm really enjoying is by Sergei Zadin, and it's called The Orphanage, and it's just really well written, and I'm really enjoying it. It's about the first invasion of Ukraine and this town in the Donbass. Okay. So I want to get some new books, maybe a nice computer, like a high performance PC where I can take over the world with my software program. A brand new Corvette, because as an English teacher, I have a difficult job and I deserve lots of money and rewards. So hopefully one of you students buys me a brand new Corvette because I earned it. And then also some gift cards, maybe to like the Cheesecake Factory Target, Starbucks, gift cards are a nice gift. So please put in the comments what is on your Christmas list. Okay. And then the next thing I want to know is, what are your favorite Christmas movies? So my favorite Christmas movie is called Christmas Vacation, starring Chevy Chase, and it's a comedy. I know most Europeans really like Home Alone. I think Home Alone's okay. I always found it like once was enough. I know that he just beats up all these criminals, right? And he makes them trip over stuff. And so I never really got that into Home Alone, but I know a lot of people love that movie. And there's a movie that actually not a lot of Europeans watch. It's called A Christmas Story. And if you ever want to see what Christmas was like in the 50s, that is a really good movie to watch. So it's funny. It's really funny. So, if you're really brave, you can watch it without subtitles. But of course, you can probably find these movies with subtitles. I like Christmas Vacation. This one on the bottom here, again, that's called Christmas Vacation because it is really, really funny. It is just a hilarious movie. Okay. So if we wanted to talk a little bit more about movies here with our last minute, probably where you should start is understanding genres, right? And then the thing on the right is like when you go to talk about films, you say like, oh, it's the film with Chevy Chase, or the character who is from District 13, right? So that's how we can kind of talk about movies. So you can do that on your own. I think that's a good idea. Let's focus on the left here. So this is understanding genres, okay? So number one, it's a film which has exciting car chases, good guys, bad guys, and explosions. It's probably action, right? It's probably action. It tells the story of someone's life. Okay. That's called a biopic, not a biography, but a biopic. It's a film about love. It's funny, and it usually has a happy ending. That's a romantic comedy, or for short, rom-com. Number four, why don't you read that one to yourself? And all that sentence sounds like this. It's a type of film that often has robots, spaceships, and aliens. This is my favorite genre. So especially for books, but some also movies, I think, although I think the books are better. Number four, that's science fiction. Okay, science fiction. So Star Wars, science fiction. Okay. It's a scary film which you should never watch alone. So I'm pretty sure you know what this one is called. What's this genre? Horror. And I think you knew that already. And it's that genre that only Americans seem to like. And Ukrainians don't really understand why Americans like horror films so much. Number six, it's a film which is set in the past, often during an important event. Okay. And that is a historical drama. Okay. These movies are just called good old Christmas movies. Okay. Alrighty. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful December. Do побачення and Merry Christmas.